Hey guys, how's it going? Joe Powell here with the IYCA. Today we're going to talk about ankle mobility and how it affects so much more maybe than initially thought of. So whenever we think of movement capacity and an athlete's ability to move, change direction, or even their ability to squat, we always think hips. Largest joint, a lot of stuff going on there, but really the ankle plays an important role that has a seismic effect of the knee joint and hip joint if it can't move properly. So the ankle can do quite a bit of things beyond just plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, but its ability to plantar and dorsiflex really relies on the soft tissue around it and then your ability to move it, right? So motion is lotion, meaning if you don't move it, it's not going to move just when you need it to. So you got to do things to prepare when it comes time in the game or even during workouts with the strength coach. You need that range of motion, and it's just not going to come from nowhere. You have to actually access it. So certain things that I use with my athletes to access it, if we're talking about the squat, not athlete is made squat ready. They're not going to be able to squat getting their hamstrings all the way to the back of their calves. It's just not going to happen. So one thing we'll do is introduce a slant board. Okay, so slant board is really easy to use. Now, if I do introduce it, it's not something that I want them to use and depend on every other workout, right? We'll slowly wean ourselves off. So for me, a squat, by definition, is maximal hip flexion paired with maximal knee flexion. So what that looks like is both, you're getting all the way down and deep. Now squats come fairly easy to me, but for a lot of athletes that I work with, it doesn't happen so easy. So one thing we'll do is we'll get them on a slant board or any device. Now you could even use plates, stack up a 10 or a 5, and you could stack it up a little higher. So depending on the athlete's mobility in their ankle, you may have to have their heels back up, okay? So really, find that sweet spot, and what you're doing now is having them still sit back. It allows for easier mobility within their ankle joint. So what I do with my athletes is I tell them to find a comfortable spot and then slowly step forward and wean themselves off. Now the goal being get to the floor and you don't need the slant board altogether. But there are other accessory exercises that I'll throw in at the end of a workout. So for this one, it's called a triple jumper step up. So what I'll do here is find a medium to high box. Athlete will put one foot on, their heel's got to be completely on the box, and what we're looking to do is push that knee forward. So as I push that knee forward, we're getting into ankle dorsiflexion, and you can see if I'm limited in my range, I'd only be able to go to here. But the further I get in, the better the dorsiflexion I have. So that back leg, I'm up on my toes, so I only rely on this front leg, and I'm standing up, and controlling slow eccentrically for a good 3 count, and then repeating. Now when I add this in, I only do 3 to 4 reps. It is very taxing on that front leg, but really what you're doing is utilizing a lot more ankle than you may think. Your quad is still firing, your glutes, but really the ankle space is what dictates this movement. So those are just a couple strategies I use to kind of increase ankle mobility within my athletes. Thanks.